My name is Pat Malone. I am the host of the 2017 Elite Redfish Tournament Series, and today we're right here at beautiful Mid-County Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat, and we're celebrating the Classic champion, Mr. Mark Robinson. This past February, Mark was part of a great elite field of anglers that participated for 3 days, head-to-head, mano-a-mano, no teammates, no draw partners, and he came in on top of the field at the end of 3 days of competition. He's about to receive his grand prize, but before that, we got just a little bit of other business we want to take care of. First, we want to thank the fine folks right here at Mid-County, as well as all of the great sponsors that helped us with this event and with the Mardi Gras Festival this season, which we were part of. The fine folks, Laura, and Floyd and all the staff and all the volunteers, they put on such a great show there at Mardi Gras, and we had a great time being a big part of it. But at the end of it, it was all about that championship and winning it, taking home that top prize, $75,000 Yellowfin Yamaha Ameritrail custom rig. And we're going to get to that in just a few moments, but first, we want to bring to the stage, we've been blessed today. You can't come to a city or town without a lot of folks knowing about it. And we've been blessed to have the Honorable Mr. Derek Freeman, your mayor, with us today. We want to bring him to the stage right now. Mayor, come on up and let's talk to the folks a little bit and greet them. And just talk about Port Arthur just a little bit. What a great day. Welcome to the stage.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
I tell you what, it's great to be here again in Port Arthur. You know, we came down here last season, late 2015, early 2016, and just fell in love with this place. It's a special place for the resources, of course, combining the environment and the economic impact that you can have, producing so much fuel for our nation, but yet we have some of the biggest redfish available in this area. Talk about Port Arthur and greet the folks watching at the Elite Redfish Series fan page.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for having me again, Pat. We'd like to thank you for looking out for Port Arthur and bringing the Elite Redfish Tournament down to Port Arthur. You know, Port Arthur is blue collar, we're oil and gas, and we also have a lot of outdoor things that are happening. You know, we not only do the fishing, but we have bird watching, we have great weather, and we're a great city. So, you know, again, if anybody's out there listening within the sound of my voice, come on down and visit us on your off days and throw you a line out there in some of our lakes and some of our rivers and pull you out something to eat that's really fresh. So we love seafood, and we like to eat out here, too. We got good barbecue, good seafood. We're right here, Texas, Louisiana. We call it latex. So come on down to Port Arthur, Texas, get you some good food and enjoy yourself. Thank you, Mr. Pat, again, for having.
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate you. And he's going to be around for just a few moments. We'll let him step off the side of the stage. Some media may want to get some quotes from him or whatever there. But we sure appreciate him for being out here and all he's done. And this great community is just fabulous for both the anglers, the visitors, birding, kayaking. I'll tell you what, whatever you want to do, if you can't get it done in Port Arthur, you're just not wanting to do it. I'm telling you right now, it's great. But, you know, stuff like this doesn't happen without great sponsors. We talked about Yellowfin. What a great sponsor, 2016. We talked about Yamaha Outboards, Ameritrail Custom Trailers. This is just going to be one of 5 rigs given away this past year, unheard of in our sport. And stuff like that doesn't happen without great sponsors. And this year we were so blessed to add to our sponsors list the fine folks right here at Mid-County Ram. And I want to bring up right now, I don't want to say he's like the owner, because he's the one that, you know, puts on the dirty shirts and gets in the back and helps change the oil and make sure everything keeps working around here. And a lot of time that title of top dog kind of, you know, gets lost in how hard of work that these people do from the very top, and they don't really have a bottom, from the very top and all those parallel to them. So he is the leader of the force, we can say that. Mr. Alan Tate, will you come greet the folks right here? Put your hands together. We appreciate them and all they've done. And Mid-County, boy, I tell you what a great supporting sponsor you've been. And talk to the folks a little bit about what we're doing today. This is a culmination. They haven't seen that beautiful ram yet. They haven't seen that boat hook to it. They're going to in just a few moments. But talk about your dealership and what you try to accomplish here in Port Arthur.
So our mission in Port Arthur is obviously is to sell vehicles, provide people with transportation, but you know we also have a higher calling. God's called us to be a big part of the community here in Port Arthur. I think Mayor Freeman and a lot of other folks will attest that we've done our best to do that. There's always more to do, but we're always looking to bring extra business to Port Arthur, always looking to take care of our community, our schools. We do a lot of stuff with Memorial High School and the other schools in the area. Pat came to me last year and said, man, do they fish around here? I heard they fish around here. And I said, yeah, we fish around here. So next thing you know, we're one of the sponsors of the Elite Redfish Tour, and just getting to be involved with such a great organization, such a great a show, and just such a classy guy like Pat, who definitely knows how to get people to show up at the event and how to give away stuff. So he's real good at that too. So I'm in the car business. We don't give quite as much away, but Pat's showing me how to do it. So So we're just glad to be a part of it. I've gotten to meet most of the anglers, lots of great guys from all over the place. These guys can fish. I'm sure they can hunt too, and that's what we're all about in Southeast Texas, and that's what we're all about in Mid-County. That's it, Pat.
That's a great job, Alan. Thank you so much for supporting the tour and the sponsors. I tell you what, if you're going to do it outdoors, you want to do it with Ram, and if you're going to do it with Ram, you got to do it with Mid-County. These folks right here, I'll tell you what, really, really good people, and we appreciate them so much for coming on, and not just what they're doing for the tour, but also for what they do for their customers. You can come out here on any given day, and this parking lot is just full of people with big smiles on their face. They know they're getting a good deal. Hey, you're going to buy a vehicle, you might as well worry about buying it from somebody who's going to be there to help service you down the road, because anybody can give you a cheap price, but I tell you what, it's that customer service, and that's what we believe that we found here, second to none, because there's no way you can treat a group of people so good and it not just permeate throughout your whole business and throughout your belief system. And so we appreciate them so much, again, for coming on and sponsoring and allowing us to give away so many of their great products. It's awfully easy to give away other people's stuff, as Alan kind of alluded to. With that, hey, you know what I want to do? I want to bring up your champion. We're going to talk just a few minutes before we give him his final presentation here, but I want to bring to the stage right now your 2017 Elite Redfish Series Classic champion, Mr. Mark Robinson. Come on up here, big dog. There we go, buddy. Now, it's not very often you get to come on stage without having a day full of hammering across big waves, fighting fish, losing fish, being upset, being happy. I tell you what, a lot of roller coaster riding going on out there on the water. Talk to the folks a little bit now. It's been since February. Has it all kind of set in? Has your phone quit ringing? Is it turned out to be everything you thought it would be coming out on top at the Elite Redfish Series Classic?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing. I still get congratulations almost every day. People call, text, they're like, "Hey, I heard you won a boat." Or, you know, everybody's excited about it. You know, it's a pretty cool deal. I mean, I'm just glad to be a part of it. As you know, this is like winning the Super Bowl of fishing. So it's just unreal almost.
Well, I tell you what, when you were out there on the water, let's talk a little bit about that. Now, you're out there for 3 days. You had a pretty commanding win. It wasn't as close as what some of our events can be. What was your winning combination? Not as, baits as well, but what was your winning combination when it came to strategy, staying where you wanted to be until the fish turned on, or you made a move? What did you do to win this tournament?
I pretty much I hunkered down on my spot. I knew they were going to be there. I was guessing when the tide came in about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, I was going to catch my fish. So I was kind of going into my spot just to hold my spot off, but it turned out, one day I got there and they were biting right away. So I caught them early, hung out, jacked around for a little while, took a little nap, caught some more, Then the last day I got there and it was just on. So I caught them pretty as fast as I could and just stayed in my spot. I didn't run around anywhere, just ground it out, and it worked out perfect.
Well, I'll tell you what now. Tell us about your winning combination. Were you throwing top water to these fish, spinner baits? For those that may be watching that don't know, it's all artificial. You can't use any live bait. You got to bring them in alive. You don't want them to die. Talk to us about your pattern. What were you throwing to those fish, and what were they biting the best?
The best lure that I found that was working the best was a Berkeley Gulp paddle tail, black with a chartreuse tail. I was throwing that with a 1/4 ounce knotty hook or jig head, and it worked great. That's all I threw the whole tournament. I cast that thing. I probably threw 10 packages of them, throughout the tournament. I came over here to Academy because I ran out and actually got some more. I ran out the first day. I was like, man, they really like these things. So luckily they had some.
All right, now that brings up another very interesting question for strategy. When you went to Academy to replace that bait that you knew was going to win that brand new boat motor, did you go like at 10 o'clock at night when nobody else was there to see what you was picking out?
I went probably about 9 o'clock or so, and there was a bunch of kids in there, and they were fishing that day, and they're like, "What are you throwing?" And they knew the tournament was going on. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in first place right now," and they're like, "But I bought them all, so they couldn't get any."
Looking out for the kids. That's Mark. That's our buddy Mark. Well, Mark, congratulations. Great job. We're going to have you back up in just a few short minutes. All right, Mark Robinson, your champion right there. He's about to get all of his due. I can tell you that. Okay, with that now. All right, Tammy, are you sure? Derek took care of you. All right, well, I tell you what, we sure appreciate you. Tammy Coates is the director of tourism here, and she's been such a blessing to us. And you know, we came one time, and usually that's all we get. And after that, they learn their lesson, and we don't get to come back. But somehow we've maneuvered ourselves into quite a series here right in Port Arthur. And you don't do it without tourism. You don't do it without people that can support you and help get the word out that you're in town and what you're doing is important to the community. And I think our anglers have a great economic impact to the communities in which we visit without having an ecological impact. We're catch and release, all the fish alive, all of them go back alive, and that's how we want it. We want to have a great impact economically without affecting negatively the environment, and I think that we pull that off pretty good, and in conjunction with great towns like this, again, producing so much of the nation's fuel right here in Port Arthur, but yet some of the healthiest estuaries and waterways you'll ever want to see. So Tammy has the night, so we'll bring up the marketing and sales expert, Miss Callie Summerlin's coming to the stage next. She's going to greet you and talk just a little bit about what it means when these anglers come to town and spend all this money on hotels and food and fuel and stuff like that. They clap for you too. Yay! Yay.
Well, first of all, we just want to thank the Elite Redfish Series for choosing Port Arthur again and again to host one of the top tours, if not the top redfish tour in America. It means so much to the Visitors Bureau for us to bring these anglers to town. They not only stay in our hotels, but they eat in our restaurants, they fill up at our gas stations, they visit our attractions, and honestly, it's an amazing impact, but it's also a morale booster for the city. We have wonderful waterways, great outdoor assets, and it's awesome for us to be able to highlight those, not only to our community, but nationwide on Destination America.
Tell you what, it's a great job, Callie. We appreciate all that you do at tourism, as well as Tammy and Dara taking care of all the press releases and getting everything out to let folks know. Okay, at this point, it's time to see. It's time to see something. I mean, it's time to see something beautiful. Ram, is that a 1500? Is that what it looks like? Ram 1500 pulling this yellowfin. Beautiful 5.7 Hemi liter engine in that 1500 from Mid-County. I tell you what, look at this grand prize champion package right here. Come on up, Chief. Keep coming. Look at this yellowfin Yamaha. This is it, folks. This is what we're talking about right here. Mr. Mayor, I'm going to give this to you. Mr. Allen, if you'll grab that trophy right there. Fantastic. What a beautiful looking rig. Look at that right there. That is awesome stuff right there. We get pictures. Y'all get wherever you want to. Come in front of the boat. Don't worry about staying back behind if you don't want to. Come up close. Y'all get wherever you want to. Max, don't worry about the video camera. Come on. Get wherever you need to get. Come on, y'all. We got to make sure we got good coverage of this. Jen, get wherever you need to get. Just come on up. And you're welcome to come around the other side of the boat, whatever you want to do. Fantastic, fellas. Everybody get what you want. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we're going to bring up your champion, Mr. Mark Robinson. Put your hands together. $75,000 richer today. There we go, buddy. Fantastic. Take your trophy. You're welcome. Take your trophy. Take your check. Mayor, we appreciate you for coming out and taking part in this. Thank you so much. The Honorable Derek Freeman and, of course, Alan Tate, the owner. Y'all put your hands together one more time. There it is. Come on now. There we go. Now stand up and get a picture right there of that. This concludes the 2017 Elite Classic Championship ceremony. Mr. Mark Robinson, your champion, $75,000. One more time. Y'all put your hands together for him. This is your host, Pat Malone, reminding you we always want to see you somewhere, either on the water or on the web. Have a great afternoon.